All right, so we got two stories about Bill Gates that we're about to run through, and both are totally wacko, and also one is really shocking in terms of a true story that just came out about him in the Netherlands and where you can find it if you wanted to find that story. And when I say where you can find it, I'm talking like you can't find it, okay? I had to use Ground News. I'll show you exactly what I mean. But Bill Gates has literally made this story disappear from all mainstream media. If you ask anyone who is not like deep in the weeds like us, they're not going to know about this. He is going to face trial in the Netherlands for lying about okay? And you can't find it anywhere. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. And we're also going to look at the donation that he made, because he donated $50 million to Kamala Harris. And you guys may have heard that, RFK is talking about potentially coming after him if the good guys win in this thing. So we're going to go over that story second, okay? First story we're going to go over here is this insanity that I saw in Redacted. It's only a 2-minute video. I'm just going to show it to you, and I will continue to just highly recommend that you go follow Redacted if you don't. These guys are amazing. Okay, so let's watch this really quick, and then we're going to look at all this crazy stuff about Bill Gates getting indicted in the Netherlands, and then how you can't find it anywhere, and RFK potentially putting him in jail. Everybody can cross our fingers on that. So rock and roll. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Watch this, dude.
You may have noticed that Microsoft Word is getting rid of highly offensive words like mother and father. That's right. Microsoft's inclusivity checker will help you to make your documents as woke as possible. So you can turn on these filters. If you do that, they may nudge you to swap out certain words that they think are more inclusive. So you can just check it like, hey, do you want me to prevent you from using gender bias or ethnic slurs? Because you might not know this yourself, but thankfully the computer does. So instead of mother or father, they may say parental leave or birth-related leave. We can't use maternity leave anymore, of course. Microsoft said it also wants to make language more gender neutral. Like if
why? You know what I mean? Why, dude? This is so insane. Okay, you can't live in a world where genders are neutral. They're not, okay? You can't change like just natural human biology. They either have a penis or they don't. Okay.
If you type in the word manpower, they'll say, well, maybe you want to use workforce because that's gender neutral. Reclaim the Net points out this also. A modern update takes a dim view of the expression maternity leave on gender inclusivity grounds, suggests that it be replaced with birth-related leave or parental leave or childbirth leave. Fathers who go on paternity leave should instead be described as taking child bonding leave.
Unbelievable. This stuff makes me insane, dude. I literally can't. I can't. This is so embarrassing, man.
Microsoft thinks. All this explained as a way to make sure that the writer is inclusive of all genders. So, you might be too dumb to know this for yourself or too ignorant. So you might describe things that are family related that are in your world. But thankfully, Microsoft will, change that for you. So think about it when you turn on those types of filters if you want it, because you just don't know any better. Google Docs has already done similar things. So with using property owner over landlord, they don't use the word master bedroom anymore. I forget what they call it. It's not the master bedroom.
Largest bedroom. You can't say master.
No
you can't
way.
Say master bedroom.
No way. Because slavery is the single most important thing that's ever happened. And we just need to erase it from history and pretend it never happened. And because, 300 years ago, you might call someone who owned slaves a master, then you can't call a master bedroom because we live in clown world, and anybody who thinks that's important should literally take their face and go drown themselves in a bucket and do the world a favor. I don't mean like actually drown yourself. I just mean like the way that, people get baptized, you go in and then you come out a different person, like, refreshed. I mean, like, put yourself in put your face into the bucket and just hold it there. I promise you're going to come out a new person. You just stay there. I know you're running out of air. Just wait. You have to wait a little bit longer. Just wait a little bit longer. Just wait a little bit longer. You're starting to lose consciousness. It's fine. I promise you're going to come out a better person. Just do this alone, though. Make sure that you're by yourself, okay? Make sure you're alone. And then as you start to fall asleep, just hold on a little bit longer. Good job. And for those of you who are still holding on to life, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video. Okay, so now we are going to move over to this. All right, so this is the story that I think is most important because this is, I saw this on Russell Brand's thing about, I saw the speech from RFK on Russell Brand's thing about Bill Gates giving $50 million to Kamala, which is hilarious. And I actually, you know what? I'm going to let him do the talking, and then I'm going to comment on it again. I'm going to show you how Bill Gates has made this entire story disappear. And by the way, I would encourage you guys, do you guys think that there's a pretty big, interest in Bill Gates? You guys think Bill Gates is a pretty interesting fellow that people look for every time? Because I've noticed on my videos that I do about Bill Gates, they do not do very well. Almost like he's on a list of things that should not get given, maximum reach. But let's continue.
Do you think Bill Gates made that donation out of a patriotic impulse? Today from Atlanta. And I read an article from the New York Times that Bill Gates had just donated $50 million to Kamala Harris's campaign. It was a dark money donation. He routed the donation through a 501c4 organization that was set up to conceal large money donations to the Harris campaign. Do you think Bill Gates made that donation out of a patriotic impulse? Or because he wants to make America healthy again? Well, there was something else, another article about Bill Gates that came out today that said he's just been indicted. He's been indicted in the Netherlands for lying to the public about the COVID vaccine.
That's what we're going to get into after this, and I'm going to show you can't find it anywhere.
And he's going to have to go to trial. You think that he wants to go to trial here in the United States of America? You think maybe that's one of the reasons he chose to give $50 million to Kamala Harris?
Boom, son. Just in case you can't read between the lines there, he is saying if they get elected, he's going to trial. Bill Gates going to trial in the United States. Now, do you want to see Bill Gates have to go to trial? I do. I don't think there's many things I would want more than that. But check this out, okay? So Bill Gates to stand trial in the Netherlands in COVID vaccine injury lawsuit. Okay, so check this out. So a Netherlands court has ruled that Bill Gates can stand trial regarding a case involving 7 people injured by the vaccine. The 7 plaintiffs allege that Gates misled them about the safety of the shot. The Luton court stated that even if you are rich and your name is Bill Gates, you still have to come to court. Now, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so this is Ground News. Okay, this is a sponsor of my channel. Okay, this is the only place that I can find this story. All right, and I'm going to show you this real quick, and then I'm going to show you some more information about Ground News. Okay, so you understand, right? You understand what's going on. He is being forced to go stand trial in the Netherlands. You know, Bobby Kennedy is saying that he's going to bring him to court here. But this is the most important part of all of this, is control of the media. Look at this, dude. Okay, so this is Ground News. Now watch this. Let's just go to a new Google. All right, watch this. Do you think that's a pretty big story? Bill Gates indicted in the Netherlands? Okay, look at this. Okay, you can find it on X right here, and then Ground News. And then look, show me, here, look at this. Where do you see a mainstream media outlet that's covering this on Google? Okay, the answer is none. Okay, none. Not a couple, zero. Zero are covering this. And that is why you need to have Ground News if you care about what is actually going on in this world. And I'm going to tell you about Ground News right now. And it's important. if you actually care about knowing what's really going on in the world, okay? Now, remember the story that I told you guys about with Iran sending assassination teams to try to take out President Trump? You want to know what's frustrating about that is if you're smart enough to know why that might be true, then you also know why it might also not be true. You go to the left-wing media and they're going to say, oh yeah, there's 100 different assassination teams. You go to the right-wing media and they're like, yeah, there are, but it's like not Iran, it's the deep state. And you're like, what on earth is going on? Ground News is the first news comparison platform that helps you see through bias and manipulation. Their app and website gathers related news in one place to highlight important perspectives often overlooked by the mainstream media. Each story also provides context on each source's political bias and ownership to help readers see how these factors influence the framing of a story or whether it gets reported at all. Now let's see what that means in practice. Right here you have Trump briefed on alleged assassination threat by Iran, his campaign says, and you go down here and each article is outlined with whether or not they are on the left, on the right, whether they are factual, whether or not they have ownership that should be relevant. So Axios, you got owned by Cox, high factuality, but leans left. But this right here is the crown jewel of Ground News. It's called the blind spot feed. And this is where they're going to show you stories that are true that you are not seeing if you are watching partisan outlets. As an example, scientists sue academic journal that retracted studies from citing dangers about the abortion pill. So pretty sure that lots of people on the right have seen this. No one on the left has seen this. No one. Not a single left-wing outlet is putting this story out. So if you're on the left and you'd be interested in a thing like this, then you should get Ground News. And guess what? If you're on the right, you're missing a lot of stuff too. So go to groundnews.com/JOF. If you use my link, you get 40% off the same unlimited access I use to research my videos like this one. By subscribing, you're accessing a better way to read the news while also directly supporting my work. There's a QR code on the screen. Obviously, you can use that as well.